Republicans who own restaurants are facing a little bit of the problem of like chasing the car and then the problem of what happens when you get it, cuz yeah, they're having to shut down over ICE raids. I don't like any of this. I kind of want to laugh at some of these Republicans, but there's a real human toll to all of this. So let's just jump into a couple of examples. So Kid Rock, by the way, is one of those. You might have heard his name going around the news lately. Conservative donor Steve Smith, another, forced to close their restaurants thanks to ICE raids. So Steve Smith is a conservative Nashville bar owner, was forced to close kitchens at 3 of his high volume Broadway properties over the weekend as management told workers afraid of being arrested by ICE to go home. According to one employee, staff were told to go home mid-shift Saturday night after ICE activity surged in the area. So this has affected staff at The Diner, Honky Tonk Central, and Big Rock's Big Ass Honky Tonk. I guess there's a lot of honky tonking going around in that area. And one of the workers said, we were already understaffed because of the ICE raids throughout the weekend. Then around 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, our manager came back and told anyone without legal status to go home. Events at the Ryman, Ascend, and Savannah Bananas baseball game all let out, and it was crazy busy, but there was no one in the kitchen to cook the food. And look, so there's multiple levels of like irony here. First of all, so the managers know that these people are undocumented, but the conservative owner of it clearly wants them and has allowed them to continue despite knowing they're undocumented and pushing, donating money to Trump as he's going around talking about how immigrants are ruining America, they're destroying everything, they're the worst of the worst. So that already was an issue. But now we get the enhanced ICE raids. And they're like, okay, let's shut down until things cool down. And I just want to make clear, didn't they arrest a judge for interfering with ICE? Didn't they say, how dare you? Law enforcement try to get these people and you're making it hard. I feel like Steve Smith needs to be hauled away in chains because he's interfering not with one migrant potentially being arrested. This could be 5, 10, 20. He should be 20 times locked up for interfering with ICE. And any of the managers who knew about this, I guess, are in legal trouble too. Now, obviously, I don't mean any of this, but I feel like you'd have to be consistent. And Brett, who could be surprised by this? Like they keep saying we need these ICE raids because these migrants are murderers. No, they're dishwashers, they're bussers, they're cooks. They're expediters. That's who they actually are. They're not rapists, they're not killers. They work at the honky tonk grill. That's who's being hauled away by this, okay? This entire thing has been so dishonest from the very beginning, long before Donald Trump actually won. What do you make of this?
John's comments on honky tonk and use of the word expediter just proved 2 things. 1, he's worked in restaurants. 2, he's never been to Nashville.
I passed through.
The bars are called honky tonks. Like that is the kind of a bar that it is.
But it's the actual title, Honky Tonk Central and Big Ass Honky Tonk.
Right, but there's a bunch of honky tonks on Broadway. That's beside the point. I just love getting to know you better.
I think I've been there once briefly, but anyway.
Nash Vegas. Anyways, I've had some crazy nights in Nashville. Just nuts. Where was I? So here's the thing about this particular story is the question that Hassan asked to Theo Vaughn on the Theo Vaughn podcast, right? Was a question like, when this kind of stuff happens, I know that the right wing is very mad and there are people on the left who alienate right wingers or just general Americans when they say, why are you mad? That's wrong. But like, if you're mad because you can't get a job or the cost of something is too high, I'm not gonna tell you not to be mad, right? We shouldn't tell anyone not to be mad if they're upset. Like they're just not having a good time in America right now, and that's fine. But I think the right question to ask is like, who should you be mad at? Should you be mad at the person who got the undocumented migrant who got the job as a dishwasher? Or should you be mad at the person who gave them that job instead of you?
Yeah.
If your housing cost is way too high, should you be mad at the migrant who came across the border? They haven't really connected the dots on why that affects anything. Or should you be mad at the people who are charging too much for rent, or the county's owner who won't put a place, set aside room for affordable housing? In this scenario, these guys just admitted that they're criminals. Kid Rock and Steve Smith, they're like, I am breaking the law by hiring undocumented immigrants. But the story is, so it stinks I can't go to a honky tonk today. No, arrest those men. They broke the law. Levy huge fines, but you won't, because the right wing is always already on the side of the business owner over the person trying to eke out a living. Period. Full stop. End of honky tonk tirade.
100%. Yeah, no, he's not gonna be hauled away. He's not the mayor. He's not the judge. He's a good political donor, so he's gonna be perfectly fine.